My girlfriend, Kate, and I, 22F, 23M, have been together for 3 years now. My girlfriend has a friend, Tom, now ex-friend, from college who used to be interested in her and asked her out, but he started dating someone else and this friend and his girlfriend, Jenna, became great friends of each other. These three were extremely open with each other and they had a group chat where these three discussed all sorts of things and made sex jokes. Typical, I thought. However, I drew the line where he shouldn't directly talk about suggestive things with her. This wasn't really something Kate understood, as they've been in each other's lives for years, and she led me to believe I simply couldn't understand their dynamic. I was also extremely uncomfortable with them hanging out alone together. Kate is extremely loyal to me and I wouldn't say she's the sort of the woman to cheat. However, in my opinion, she can be extremely naive, especially when it comes to this person. Tom used to make suggestive jokes which I disliked, but she used to laugh it off. I picked up on some bad energy from him and do not think he has good intentions when it comes to my girl. My parents took my brothers and I to a vacation for 2 weeks, so I wasn't in town. Kate, Tom and Jenna made plans to hang out together, but then Jenna fell sick last minute and they had already purchased tickets, so Tom and Kate went together. I raised objection to it and told her not to get drunk around him, but she dismissed me and got angry I was trying to control her. I was supposed to arrive 4 days after her plans, and Kate didn't message me for the entire 3 days. We both were angry at each other, I assumed. However, when I came back, she invited me to her place and broke down and started apologizing. She confessed that she was so mad at me that she had like 5 shots that night and she didn't realize when Tom groped her. She slapped him hard in the bar and took an Uber and came home. She said she was ashamed of telling me earlier and that I was right about him. I was trying to really hold myself together and didn't lash out at her or anything. I said that we need to immediately report him to the university authority about what he did and I will support her. However, I wasn't very open or affectionate with her. She did cut him off and Jenna broke up with Tom. However, I am extremely furious at Kate for completely dismissing and disregarding my feelings around Tom and getting drunk when I expressed it makes me uncomfortable, on top of them hanging out alone. I'm not trying to victim shame her, but that doesn't mean she gets to learn nothing from this and refuse to have good sense to know who to trust and who not to. I feel like a total asshole for even feeling angry at her, but I can't help how I feel. She's picked up on this and I have no idea how to tell her this. ETA. I am mad at my girlfriend for even being able to trust someone who conducts himself inappropriately. It took her being assaulted to listen to me finally. That's what I am upset about. Like, she shouldn't have to have this awful experience in order to finally process every single time I raised concerns about this. This is just terrible. Like, if she got scammed out of her life savings because she trusted a guy over me, when I kept shouting repeatedly not to do that, would I still have compassion for her? I would struggle for empathy at least for some time. Because I would consider such a person unreliable to make big decisions in life. I feel disrespected and disgusted with her. How do I hold her responsible for her ignorance? I am so mad at her I want to break up with her. I'm extremely sorry if my post is triggering, but I'm not blaming her for the actions of the douche who groped her without her consent and assaulted her. His actions are entirely his own and I'm going to make sure to get him fucking booted off the campus for what he did. I mean, I don't know how to frame this without being problematic, but she didn't prioritize her safety and acted like a freaking adult for God's sake and thought it was totally okay to get drunk like that, and that too out of spite. Like, this whole situation tells me that unless she gets to experience the worst of the worst undeserved consequences, she wouldn't change or listen to me. This isn't someone I want to be with. I wish she'd just stop taking my concerns as an affront to her autonomy. Ugh. Update 2. I couldn't post an update to my original account because trying to post their return to user error for that account, which honestly confused me since my other connected accounts were working perfectly fine. I've had the time to read all the comments. Most of you were supportive and had a balanced perspective, however some were uber extreme on both ends. Some called me an evil little misogynist who wants to act like her dad and control her and shame her, and some called her a cheating repugnant whore. None of the two extremes are true, lol. I did however had fun reading that, so thank you for the laughs. Particularly chuckled a little at the pearl clutching over the phrase my girl when I didn't even think for a second before writing that out. On to the main update. My now ex heard back from health and counseling services that will guide her to seek support and hold Tom accountable, probably intense sensitivity training and detention based on the degree of assault. My days weren't so great, as you can tell. I was willing to give her a chance and move forward with her, and at first I requested full disclosure, including as to why she didn't get in touch with me those 3 days. She was extremely hesitant in showing me her chats with him, in which she accused him of being inappropriate with her that crossed the line. Tom was apologetic and told her that he was drunk too and didn't know what he was doing. At first she didn't believe that and he was scared about how Jenna would think. This made her rethink and she almost excused his actions away and decided not to tell me, but then she changed her mind and told Jenna immediately, and then she told me. This shouldn't feel like a breach of trust, but it did, because she was this close to being willfully ignorant again. I was extremely upset at her and asked her what makes her so blind to the obvious. I really wanted to know what goes inside her mind that she continues to make these epically bad decisions. I decided that fine, I'll let her take this as a learning experience, and told her that she needs to take me seriously too, because despite what happened, her being sexually assaulted doesn't negate that she has continued to disrespect me, and I expect better from her as a partner. This angered her greatly, and she expressed that I'm not her dad, emphasizing her right to make mistakes. She even had the fucking audacity to suggest she didn't feel like an equal partner, insinuating I shouldn't be holding her accountable for her actions, precisely when it's her consistently downplaying my concerns and making me feel small. Oh, sweet irony. Look, I may not be the best, most compassionate person in the world, but I don't need someone who arrogantly dismisses my concerns as some petty, abusive, trashy, obsessed jealousy in the relationship, as if I'm the crazy one. I don't care what modern-day world believes, but I stubbornly believe that relationship isn't about making selfish choices that affect your partner too. It isn't about one person, it's about two people who at least acknowledge comfort of their partner in decision-making. Look, I know I am just in college, but I honestly at least imagine her as my future wife, my loved one. However, I don't need my loved one to dismiss my concerns about her safety, that affect me too, as controlling. If I stayed in a relationship with her, no doubt she will find excuses about not feeling like an equal and use that to call me controlling, an opportunity I refuse to give her, by breaking up with her. I don't need my partner to make me out to be the male equivalent of a nagging shrew where she's the ball and I'm the chains in the relationship. It just makes me cringe hard about unintentionally taking that role in the relationship just because from my POV her actions came from a place of willful ignorance, spite and lack of respect for our relationship. And I think I can never have a high opinion of Kate unless she changes this part of her personality. Which would be unfair given her awfully limited understanding of her surroundings. If I stayed with her, she'd complain about being treated like a child, most probably because I'll see her as acting like one. Going about drinking to spite her partner and not being able to recognize and put boundaries around inappropriate conduct. And that's exhausting. Maybe I'm wrong for saying that, but I sincerely hope she grows into an emotionally mature individual who doesn't feel the need to retaliate like a child when her so-called autonomy feels threatened just because a loved one is trying to look out for her.
I purposely destroyed my sister's wedding, and I'm not remorseful. I'm adopted, from the UK. My sister and parents are white, my parents and I live in the UK and my sister lives in the US. She is now getting married. I work a lot, I'm a workaholic, and frankly, I dislike going to the US, for multiple reasons. For these reasons, I actually haven't met my sister's fiancé until this past weekend where I met him. I was with my parents and the whole time he was complimenting my parents for adopting a refugee and how I speak very good English. He was also speaking loudly and slowly when addressing me directly. He also scoffed at the concept of me earning more than him. Worse, he at one point made an allusion to him, my sister and my parents being real people and me being a person of color. One was pissed, like unbelievably pissed, but I sucked it up. America is known for racism, I should have expected this, my fault, according to my sister. Then along comes his grandparents who are shocked when they see me and ask my sister what. How are you related to that? Yep, refer to me as that. I thought this was the end of it because my sister snapped at them and they were making an effort to be polite, though they were clearly uncomfortable. Then along comes her new sister-in-law. And she was super surprised that I was related to my sister and asked her, while I was standing right there, are you okay with a brownie being at your wedding? I can ask him to leave if you want. One had enough, I left, and booked a flight out, with the money I earn at a job which pays 3 times what her fiancé earns. I also told my sister that I wouldn't attend the wedding, and on top of this, when my parents asked if I was okay, I told them as much. They agreed and were shocked with how racist they were and said they also wouldn't finance or attend the wedding. This hit my sister hard and she has apparently lost a lot of weight and hair since, because her relationship with her parents and me is ruined, and not just that, but her fiancé is acting weird around her now. Ida?